5 o'clock, no mics, no radio tonight. That's the way the ball bounces sometimes. At this juncture, I'm gonna ask Councilwoman Jackson, if you'll be so kind to give us the invitation, please, ma'am.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day and thank you for another opportunity to come before your holy and precious throne. Lord God, we cast out every thought, every imagination, everything that exalts itself against the knowledge of who you are. Lord God, we bring into captivity your will, your desire, your purposes for our lives and for our city. Lord God, we ask for forgiveness of sins committed, and sins that we haven't even acknowledged as being committed. Lord God, we ask that you would clean us up and renew a right spirit within us. Lord God, we ask that you bind us to your will and to yours alone this evening. Lord God, bring us forth in unity that we may decipher, deliberate, Lord God, the purposes of your city and your business in a righteous way, Lord God, keeping those citizens in the forefront, Lord God, and keeping your purposes in our midst. In Jesus' holy, precious, and righteous name we pray.
Amen. Thank you, Councilwoman Jackson. Let us stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
President Bowie.
Present.
Councilman Bowling.
Present.
Councilwoman Youngblood. Here. Councilwoman Jackson.
Present.
Councilwoman Benjamin.
Here.
Councilman Randolph. Councilman LaShaw.
Here.
Councilwoman Thomas. Present. Councilman Johnson.
Here. Okay, as stated before, we do have a quorum. The character trait of the month is responsibility, knowing and doing what is expected of me. At this time, council members, you have before you the December 10th agenda. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the December 10th agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Johnson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilwoman President Pro Tem Benjamin. Roll call.
President Bowie.
Yes.
Councilman Bowling.
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngblood.
Yes.
Councilwoman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Benjamin.
Yes.
Councilman Randolph. Councilman LaShaw.
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas. Yes. Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, the agenda was approved unanimously. Council members, you have before you 3 items for the consent agenda. We talked at length about these 3 items from last night. Hopefully we can move forward with all 3 items. Consent item number 1, to approve Mr. Petway at no cost to the city to cut and remove the wood from the new Live Oak Cemetery. This will help with, not filling up the landfill and also the appearance of the new Live Oak Cemetery. Consent item number 2, to approve a film permit for folk films for a documentary on the site of civil rights movement on Saturday, December 14th, 2019, from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. And I do think, concur with Councilman LaShaw, that we need to go up on that 250. And last but not least, we have an array of contracts. How do you pronounce that, Councilwoman? Your contract. Asthma. We talked about that's going to go on first read, not up for vote tonight. And also, we don't have to worry about getting a liability insurance because you're not going to be doing any labor intensive work unless you get a paper cut. All right. The contracts are as follows: Carriage Hill Landscaping, 6. Go ahead.
That wrong right there.
I have it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Asthma to be placed on first reading for the next meeting to vote on. Second, we have Carriage Hill Landscaping, $6,000. John Woods Construction, $11,300 and $4,750. Coastal's Outdoors, $4,500. That was that sidewalk that we had on Water Avenue, and $4,000. Cutting grass. Mr. Robert Phillips, that was $550. And Mr. I haven't, no, sir. I'll check in the morning. Okay. And Mr. Frank Middleton, $500 and $175. That $175 he did not receive, so that's why we voted on the contract. So we just need to move forward with it. Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to know if I can pull number 3 off just because I'm looking at Councilwoman, contract, that's the only one I've had an opportunity to review, but it looks like this is gonna be 8,000 rather than 6,000. Unless I'm reading it wrong, it says
No,
6,000.
it's be 4 4 and 2.
It says city shall pay contractor 6,000 for pruning, mulching, and installing flower beds, and 2,000 for pruning and mulching around the entrance sign. So
Yes.
maybe it should have been 4 and 2, but the way it's reading is 6 and 2 is 8.
Yeah, that's right, that's where it's supposed to be.
Is it,
Yeah, that's it.
it's 8?
You got 6 for the,
6,000.
it's 2 different broke down.
Okay, so it's 6,000 for pruning and mulching and installing the flower beds, and 2,000 for pruning and mulching around the,
That means for, what they call it, the entrance. Did you, look at your map.
So it's a total of 6,000?
or a total of
It's
8,000.
8.
So the,
He got it broke down in there.
It's, right, the contract is 8,000, the agenda says 6,000.
Okay.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
just do it for 8,000.
Right, can we put it on, I don't know who John Woods, she said we talked about it a long time, but I don't have that contract.
What was that?
John Woods, 11,347.
Yeah, Jerry.
That's Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry Wood.
It said John Woods on
Yeah,
there.
that's the contract.
That's the name of the
That's the name of the contract.
And it's my contract.
Yeah,
It's my work, in my ward.
Okay.
My
So,
money we use.
We'll just use 8,000, let me make correction for that, Carriage Hill landscape, 8,000. So you still would like to pull it out, Council?
I mean, I thought they should be
I
doing
would like
something.
number 3 pulled off anyway, because it appears like, it appears that we are voting on first reading and approving the contract for Asmus.
Right.
And we're only putting it on first read, right?
For what?
Asthma.
For Asmus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just pull it off. and
Just pull it and separate some stuff.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and pull, asthma, we'll just pull that off.
Number 3.
Number 3, what is it?
3 dollars.
Then we'll just separate it out. When we get to discussion, we can just separate it out.
Okay, all right. So we have before you 2 items, 1 and 2 items for the consent agenda. We'll just pull, number 3 off. Go ahead, Councilwoman Thomas.
Why are you pulling number 3 off?
We would like to discuss it further,
Discuss what for,
all of it.
all of it, like what, my contracts that I'm doing in my
Number
room?
The
Huh?
whole number 3, we would like to pull it for discussion.
No.
Okay, all right.
He put 2 minutes together. There's about 8 different things going on.
Ah,
Not you.
Not you.
Others itemized out.
We're just individual, no, okay. All right,
what the,
so we have removed consent item number 3. We're just gonna, discuss it separately. So consent item number 1 and 2.
Sir.
Do I have a motion to move forward with the consent item? We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Shaw. Do we have a second, Councilwoman Youngblood? Next time, I'll spell it in crayon. Roll call.
President Booth?
Yes.
Councilman Bowling?
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngblood?
yes.
Councilwoman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph? Councilman LaShaw?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
I'm gonna have to stay on Alice for a work session.
All right, the consent agenda was approved for items 1 and 2. Okay, we have a marathon list of minutes from September 10th through October the 28th. Hopefully, everyone has had an opportunity to peruse the minutes, all set, that we can move forward with accepting from September the 10th through October 28th.
Mr. President, I move that we consolidate all the minutes. We've all gotten minutes and should have had ample time to review them.
All right, thank you. We have a motion on the floor to consolidate from September 10th through October 28th. We have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Youngblood, second Councilman Johnson. Any further discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
President Bowie?
Yes.
Councilman Bowling?
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngblood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph? Councilman LaShaw?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Okay, the minutes were voted unanimously and approved. Now down to announcements. Are there any announcements from council first at this time? We have Councilwoman Benjamin, then Councilwoman Youngblood.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. I want to make a correction, and it's because I emailed you the wrong date, Mr. President. I sent December 17th as the, in the year program, actually Monday, December 16th, is the end of year State of the Water Address. It is our 11th annual, I believe, 11th annual State of the Water Address, 4:30 p.m. Monday, the 16th, at the Performing Arts Center. You all come if you can. Mr. President, I need you there if you can make it.
Yes,
I'm doing 4:30 this year, so hopefully you can make it on this year and help me do some presentations. Also, this year, council people, I usually collect from you all to do the Adopt a Hospital, but what I would like for you all to do for me, if you can, pack a care package for the nurses on duty. If you can, like a freezer bag, or if you want to be pretty with it, put it in a box and wrap it. We'll collect it and take it as one unit, or you can take it yourself. If you can pack a care package for the nurses that will be on duty for the Christmas holidays, that would be wonderful. If you could also pack a gift for those children who will possibly be in the hospital during Christmas, that would be wonderful as well. We can, you can bring it here, give it to Ms. Ellison, and I can take it down all in one box, or you can take it at some point right after the Christmas date, 24th or the 25th. So if you would do that, I would appreciate it. We are going to the nursing home. I'm waiting for the date for the nursing home. We always go to the nursing home every year. This is our 11th annual. The last time we had the barbers, and we did fingernails, nail polish, and they really enjoyed us coming over to do the nail polish and the brushing of the hair. As soon as the nursing home gives me the date for that, I will give it to you, and if you are available, please join us. It's for everybody. And you may get as much of it out of it that I did, and I know they had pleasure in it, but I also took pleasure in just polishing fingers that had not been polished in a while. So I'll give you that date as soon as they give it to me. Thank you, Mr. President.
How about giving me some money, because I'm not gonna.
I would love a picture of you polishing nails.
Councilwoman Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. Councilman Benjamin, that is such a caring and thoughtful thing. He's always done that in the hospital. The adoptive floor at the hospital, and having a daughter who is a nurse and who works on Christmas now, and who has worked many hospitals, and her being a single woman, she winds up working those holidays. So I can appreciate that very much now. And that's a very fine thing. Thank you so much. The Selma High Choir, or the Queen de la Creme of the choir, serenaded us over at the convention center today, this afternoon. And many of you heard that this afternoon. That was very lovely and sweet. Colin Lett brought some of the best of the choir, and it was just very wonderful, some of the sounds of the singing. I know that President Bowie and Councilwoman Thomas and I got to hear the choir when we went to Baptist Men's Day at First Baptist a few weeks ago. But, you know what, I would like to fix Councilwoman Benjamin suggested we do a donation. I would like to fix a discretionary fund, because they are always struggling. You know, for some children, it's a struggle to get even the meal money when they have to go places, and they depend on the donation. So I'm going to see ways to do that. I wanted to announce, and this may be a little premature to say anything about that. I hope I'm not jinxing it, but I had, and some of you may have seen this come across in just emails or whatever, or may have heard about it if you watch HGTV, which I love HGTV. I'm always going to have a project. One day, if I ever get to be fully retired, I'm going to do all these different projects. But they have Small Town Restore, a project going on, and so I applied for Small Town Restore, and they sent me, you have to write in why your town should be restored. So they sent me back this thing and said, okay, if we were going to restore your town, why do you think your town should be restored? So I sent them another thing, and they sent me back and they said, pick out some things that you need to be refreshed, some commercial things and some public things and some private things. So, I'm working on that right now, and I have got to, I'm on borrowed time, they're being real nice. And it almost sounds like they really, really want to come and do some things here. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping and working with some folks here. So I will be contacting people to be getting together. Hopefully this will work out. It would be a real shot in the arm for Selma. So it was really funny how skeptical some people are of, well, what, you know, I don't know if I want people working on my house for free. You know? But anyway, but that, hopefully that will yield something. But that is all I have right now. Oh, and I do not have the resolution yet. Well, we'll have it by the 17th. And I will also have the contract for the Welcome Center by the 17th. I feel like I need to let Graham look at it. Graham knows what look at it, the attorney. And I did talk to Henry about the hourly rate, so for the Welcome Center, which is one of the sites that I have picked to be refreshed, and hopefully they will do that. So, that's all I have in that for community development.
Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes. I would like to make this announcement, and I would like for my colleagues to know that we talked about this contest with our students at the school to be involved in. And yesterday, me and Commissioner Rubin, Councilman Show, Payne School is going to be involved in the poster contest Auburn Day. It will be turned in on the 24th of this month. The fifth graders, all the fifth graders over there taking part in the contest. Yes. Payne School. Sam Ford. Okay. I thought it was yours. It's right in. Okay. Also, Clark School will be a part of the contest too. And also Knox. And also, other school, four schools we had with the cities, and we had, the county had 4. So, it's about 8 schools will be taking, county and city will be taking part in the Arbor Day contest, which will be the deadline is January the 24th, which we will, each student in each class will have a chance to draw. And the kids were very excited. With Miss Denise, she took time to go to the schools and talk to the children. They were very excited being a part, which this would make Selma School be a part of this contest. And she also explained to them the contest, what they'll receive, the prize, and what they'll get a chance to go to Montgomery with, to the government with KIV and it's a whole lot of things they'll get a chance to do. And also, I wanted to say this to my colleagues. The little baby that got hit on Broad Street, that little baby is a part of my family and in our community. Me and Sam is divided in our ward. The family is a member of my church, the grandparents. His name is Van Murphy. Van Murphy III. Van Murphy III has been in Birmingham in the hospital. And we, like I always ask some of my colleagues to go with me. I would like to show this family that as a leader that we are concerned and praying for Van to recover, speedy recovery. President Bowie and he was the little baby that got hit back here around a couple of weeks ago on Broad Street, crossing, coming from Bosco, going home. And he lives over in my area. He's between me and Sam area, the resident, but the family is a member of my church, and we've been praying. And you know, they had gave up on the baby, but you know, God is good. This family was a praying family. They were saying that he wasn't gonna make it. You know, he was in bad shape, but little Van is he's recovered. He's recovered with the prayers and everybody. He's recovered. So I'm as a leader, a representative of my area, I always reach out. So I'm asking if we have to go to Birmingham, if he be home for the holidays, I would like for us to go and support this family, this baby. This is a baby, and to show that how concerned we are about it. But I have been keeping up with him about him.
Is he at home?
No, he's not at home.
Is he still in Birmingham?
He's still in Birmingham. And yeah, he's still in Birmingham, and we get a report because I keep in contact because his grandparents, we are church members. And I just want us to keep in mind of him over the holidays or coming up to the holidays. And also I want to announce that on December the 21st of December, we will be having our annual, our last ward meeting of the year. Also, we will be, you know, the season is of giving and showing love to our community, where we have some unfortunate families that are not able, are struggling. And every year I take it upon our committee and all of us get together, and some of our council people join me. We celebrate with these families. We give back to our community to help for needy families that can't afford for Christmas. So I'm asking, you know, keep that in mind of the season of the year of December is to help, give back.
Anything else, Councilwoman Thomas?
No, that's all.
Keep us in mind about the trip. We're going to Birmingham, we get it on coordinated, and then just let us know.
Okay.
Okay? Maybe we can give a care package or something to the young man, also to his family.
Yeah.
Councilman Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I want to thank Councilwoman Thomas because that's definitely one of the things that I want to discuss. I did get an opportunity to talk to the young man's mother, Ms. Jennifer Watts, because the child goes to Kingston School, and right now they're up there, and I cash out them some money. So that's one of the things I wanted to mention. That if anybody won't be able to make it, they want to cash out something because it costs money to sit there.
Yes.
And I was able to talk to Ms. White several times and text her and let her know I'm so sorry about her child because he do go to Kingston. I just, Ms. Jennifer called me. And I called her and asked her, once I heard the child go to Kingston, how can I get in touch with the mother? She gave me the information. But anyway, that is a good thing. We do need, because you never know, it can be our child. And but I'm glad you brought it up because definitely I got a chance to talk to Ms. Watts several times. And I went on to cash out her some money because just sitting there and it's really sad. The child is coming around though. They did took the breathing tube out and he able to breathe on his own so far. And so I think the little boy maybe 5, 6 years old, 7, I think. I'm not really sure. I 7. Yeah, they look like 3 6. Okay, 6. Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, definitely. If it's in your heart, you want to be able to do something, please help the mother out and the father. And both of them up there. And I do have their number in case y'all want the phone number to them. Y'all can give a chance to give them a call as well. But just so I can give them a call and I can give you their information. Also, I want to take time and just thank everybody to participate in Thanksgiving, my 5th annual Thanksgiving dinner that we was able to give to the community. And it wasn't just about Ward 8, but for the city of Selma. I got to give a big shout out to Mr. Earl Ash. He always come through and help out. Selma Community Baptist Church Pastor Jerry Stallworth, and they remember they prepared the food. And plus I want to say thanks to all the volunteers. I'm not gonna just start calling names, but just so many just came out and helped deliver the food. As well as preparing food to put it on the dish to be able to give to the people that came by. I think we didn't do as much as we did last year, but we did close to 200, a little over 200. But it's so good that other organizations doing it, so it's making it so much less than that, because I have done close to 300 one time, but right now it's grateful that everybody pitching in and doing something. But again, I want to thank everybody for what they do, and that's it for me, Mr. President.
Thank you, thank you. Any other comments, announcements? All right, thank you, council members. To the citizens' request, Mr. Petway informed me that he couldn't make it tonight. He'll be here next week. Next we have Mr. Tom Hetler, request for information form. Mr. Hetler, please come forward.
You got no mic.
No microphone, so I guess we can all hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. About a year ago, a little over a year ago, I came before you in a work session, and some of you were missing. And then I came back in February in a work session, some of you missed. So I wanted to take my first minute of my 5 minutes to tell you what brought me here now.
Yes, sir.
September 15th, 2017, I've been out of town for about a month. Came into town, stopped downstairs, going to view the 2 public bulletin boards downstairs. By state statute, that's where notices go, or in a local paper for 3 days. That's what those 2 bulletin boards down there are for. So I go through the detector, fine. And then they asked me to sign in. Well, I didn't believe that y'all would pass something saying a citizen had to give up his Fourth Amendment constitutional rights in order to view a bulletin board that was 10 feet away from the desk. And y'all didn't. I go to Ms. Harrison, and I request, first off, I had a police report made about it. That very afternoon, Mr. Alford came by. And so then we go in front of Ms. Harrison and we ask for 3 things. I asked for a copy of the minutes where this was passed, April 19, 2017, by this council. I asked for a copy of the contract that they were acting under that asked me, or told me, that if I didn't sign in and I did go in and look at the bulletin board, that the police would be called and that I would be trespassed. Well, I knew 874-6611. I ain't used it in 20 years, but I remember the number. I called it and got them down. So anyway, we asked for the minutes of the meeting where it was passed. We asked for a copy of the contract, and we also asked for a copy of the book, because there was 2 ladies that signed out at 105 that day that witnessed this exchange. I wanted their names in case we pursued it. Okay. Well, I got the contract, and I found out why I couldn't get a copy of the book, because the contract under services here, it says something. It says, it tells them what time they have to work, it tells them what to wear, and it tells them about assigning officers. But listen to the last thing. It says, contractor shall keep a logbook of visitors. Now, where did it get from keeping a logbook, and how did the word keep get changed into required to sign in and lose your constitutional rights to view the bulletin board downstairs? That's a pretty, somebody didn't watch the oversight on this. I believe y'all are oversight. Somebody didn't check it. Why are they asking that? It's not in the contract. Unless they have a loose definition of the word keep. Okay? That's why I'm here. So anyway, what I do is I go in, and like I said, the other 2 things were the minutes of the meeting, and that was April 17th of April 19th, 2017. And then I asked for, but what really got me was, I was required to use this form. This form was invented in 2006 because of 2 city councilmen that would go down to the city clerk's office, get a little bit of the news, put their spin on it, and put it in Angel Fire, which is, some of y'all old enough to remember Angel Fire. You remember Angel Fire? Okay, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's why this was invented. Please remember this: the definition of tyranny is the arbitrary use of power to control. That's what this is all about. That's why this form was invented. Okay, taking it to the top. Up here, it gives credence to this whole document under this statute up here, State Statute 36-12-40, 1975. I gave y'all a copy of this form, of that law. Y'all all have a copy of it. I defy you to find anything on here other than what's at the top that you want that's in that law. It's not there. Everything else comes from different case laws. Some of them are okay. What you want, why you want it, that's okay, that's decent. But then the real kicker is down here at the bottom. Went back, I'm not going to mention any names, But because this was used to try to control, they go down here and they make a legal contract, a unilateral legal contract called prior restraint. What that means is that if you used it for anything, malicious purpose, useless purpose, now that's debatable. This is 1882. We didn't have TV, we didn't have telephones, we didn't have internet in 1882. But this is talking over the back fence, used for improper use. He dug this out of 1882. 2 more minutes. Okay, good. I can make it. 1882 to find that. But yet leaves the city clerk under the instructions that this form has to be sealed, has to be signed, has to be sent in, even if she had to mail it out of state to get them to fill it out. He forgot Chambers versus News of Birmingham News of 1989 that said you don't have to use their form. Forgot about that, but he can dig up the one back to 1882 that says you can't talk bad over the back fence. This form really, in my first time I came up here, like I said, over a year ago, I don't know what the holdup is. I mean, I could tell you about being busy at City Council, okay, with National Guard at the school, demonstrators downstairs, East Selma flooded, Joseph Lowry in negotiations with him, and passing a sign ordinance to get signs off city streets. Been there. I know what busy is. I've been there. Okay. But what I'd like to do, we've agreed on 4 things. Number 1, we've already taken care of. I entered another request for documents, and I cited Chambers versus Birmingham News, and Ms. Harrison went to the city lawyer at that time, and he relinquished. He said, yes, that's right. He can put it on a piece of toilet paper if he wants to. Okay, so that part's fixed. That's one of the 4 that me and Ms. Benjamin agreed on that we wanted to fix. Also, I wanted to remove this because nothing on here has anything to do with that statute, except naming what you want. Okay? And the last part was the cost. If you'll look here at the cost, I did a cost analysis. I was down in Panama City, helped my son rebuild his house after the hurricane a couple of weeks ago, and I looked at what other towns cost. Ours ridiculous. It's ridiculous. A 79-page budget that I think is what your last one was, counting revenue pages, is $128.25. Where other towns like Montgomery's $34, Clanton $19, Demopolis $19, Prattville $39.50. And there we are, one of the poorest cities in the state with a 40% poverty rate, and we're going to charge $138 or $128.
Okay, tell what we can do.
That's my 5 minutes.
Yeah, Councilman Boleen, if you could get our attorney to revise this some more information that I looked at.
Yeah, I've got this.
Some more information that I looked at also, as far as what the cost of.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, go ahead.
We talked about, I remember Miles talked last week, she said you're looking for honesty, integrity, and transparency. What I think I would do is get rid of that whole thing. Come back and say, what do you want? What do you want to use it for so we can better serve you? When would you like to have it by? Sign it and a telephone number.
That's all the information in there.
That is what, if you want to actually serve the public instead of being a tyrant, that's what should be done.
We have about 2 or 3 citizens who want to look at this.
All right, that's all I got.
Thank you, sir. All right. No mayor's report, no attorney report. I asked Ms. Wade, since we're not on the radio this evening, to carry this finance report over to the next meeting. Because I know a lot of people in radio land lack a report. They have a lot of inquiries about it. But due to the fact that we're not on the radio, I asked her would it be okay if she can carry all the financial matters over to the next meeting when we're on the radio.
Mr. President, will you make sure that the sound room is
I will.
open for the next meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Monday?
No.
About Monday?
No, about this week.
Yeah, IT department.
Also, thank you. And also I asked Ms. Ellison to CC each council member a copy. I asked for Mrs. Lewis to be here also. Wrote a letter to the mayor, asked Ms. Ellison to CC a copy to all of the council members also. She did get your copy. Yes, ma'am.
Can I
Yes, ma'am.
suggest something?
Yes, ma'am.
What you just said?
About what?
What you said you had suggested that, we get a copy, you had asked for.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I say a suggestion?
Yes.
I would like to say this because this is important to the city of Selma. When we pay revenue into our city, property tax, and we need to know here. You know, everybody else come. We have our clerk, we have our treasurer, we have our chief of police, sometimes our fire department, and everybody comes in during the council meeting and they give a report. And I think this is one of the major important things to know how much money that is coming in through that tax office down there. We need to have that report given because that person is up under the council. And everybody else have no problem with giving a report. And I think the city of Selma is entitled to know if they're paying their money down there into that tax office, we need to know exactly how much money is coming. And President Wood, I respect you because you have sent several letters requesting that we get someone come to give a report. So I think that if people don't want to come and give a report about the revenue that's being coming into this city, I think we need to remove that tax revenue over to what the suggestion was before, to this body, this council. Let the county collect our tax money and pay a percentage. And we, in the other part of the office, keep the young ladies down there, like when you're paying your taxes on for your license and other little things, the business operation, she can report on it to Ms. Wade and give it to that. Because it should not be like this, that we are being disrespectful as the body of the leaders of the city of Selma. When our tax person that collects and all of this money don't want to respond to the body, I think sometimes we have to stand tall and do what's best for the city.
Sometimes you have to set a paper trail too now.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to do something because if you don't want to report, let us know how much money coming in. The city is entitled to that.
That's true, that's what we do.
We shouldn't have to keep begging. We shouldn't have to. We're leaders. We're elected officials.
I do agree. And I thank Ms. Wade for coming, work session, and not only work session, and the council meeting. All right. Now, go
Mr.
ahead.
President, we have two of our appointments here. We have the city clerk here and we have city treasurer here.
Yes.
We have,
Chief King.
we have three of our appointments here. And they are here at our request. And some just come because they feel obligated to report to the public. Thank you for coming. Chief King, if I had a public safety question, I'm sure you could answer it because you're present.
Yes.
But just remember that is our obligation, that appointment, those appointments are our obligation. And we have to have someone in place who can report, or we can't oversee it.
That's true. Thank you. All right. Now to committee reports. Back to the consent item number 3. Basically what I would do is just go ahead and just take them one by one, if that's okay with you all. Okay, first we have that asthma contract for Councilwoman Jackson brought before us. At this time, it's just gonna go on first reading. Do I have a motion on the floor to place it on first reading? Do we have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Jackson? Do we have a second? Second, Councilwoman Benjamin. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
President Wood?
Yes.
Councilman Bowling?
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngblood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph? Councilman LaShaw?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes, for first reading.
All right, second, we have Carriage Hill Landscaping for $8,000. Do I have a motion on the floor to approve that contract? Do I have a motion on the floor?
So moved.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Jackson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bowling, Councilwoman
Discussion.
Thomas. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you all discuss on yesterday, what this will specifically cover?
Yeah, you have a map.
You have a map.
Open up.
Tell me about the map.
Okay, you got your thing.
I can't see tonight.
Oh, you can't see? Stop it now. Come on.
No, I'm serious. I can't
See it?
I can't.
There you go.
Yeah, my eyes.
You need it? Just let me know that right here.
So let me ask this question, because it's important to me. Because we discussed this, and I didn't have a clear understanding when I did speak with you, Councilwoman Thomas. Is this person doing more than the 4 gateways?
He is.
Or is this person cutting grass at City
He's
Hall?
not cutting grass. What he's doing is, out there on the city right away, where downtown, where we have all the, where the shrubs at, they used to have flowers in there. Where you see all those dead weeds at now, they're going to go all through town, down around. And they're gonna go and clean out all those beds. And they're gonna clean them out, and they're gonna plant flowers like they used to do. And where you see the circle and how far they're gonna go starting from this area to all the way down that area where we have where we used to have the beautiful flowers and shrubs at. They're gonna clean it out and plant more. Then on the 4 intersection, well, President Bowie said, when you're coming into the city of Selma, we used to have a lot of nice, I don't know what they were, the type of plants or whatever they had there. They're gonna revive that area, all 4 sections of those areas. And I am supposed to meet with him to make sure I'm gonna be going with them in all those places to make sure that everything that we asked for in that area to be done. And also I'm going to be asking, we're gonna, some of the, I always use the juveniles out there at the boot camp and some of the school kids. We're gonna come down here, and also the person that been working with me since I've been in office. We're gonna come down here and we're gonna go and gather all those leaves and things around in front of the building. We're gonna clean that up. We're gonna back up and clean up and get all that garbage and stuff. And also we're gonna try to get all of the dead branches and things that are laying out there.
Okay, because the reason I asked, I was under the impression that this company was gonna do complete landscaping with, it wouldn't make sense to me to put down flower beds and the leaves are down and the grass is not cut.
Well, he's not
Down
gonna,
Street.
he's not gonna go like, where you thinking, what we're talking about, all, like out front over here.
I'm reading it now, it says from the bridge
Mhm.
to Dallas Avenue, looks like.
Yes.
From the bridge to Dallas Avenue, and he's
Back
gonna
this way.
plant and probably put down mulch and flowers.
He's gonna clean it out.
So who's gonna cut the grass and
Well, the
and
grass
edge up and
now,
all that?
with the grass cut now, I don't know about the grass being cut. Now, he's not gonna do the grass cut. But I was gonna ask, that's not in the landscape, in his landscape cleaning. But I was gonna ask, we're gonna have some other people that's gonna work with me on this project.
Would you please find out who could do the rest of it and bring it back to us, Councilwoman? Who could do this person or this company needs to be doing that, in my opinion. At the same time that he's doing this right here, they need to also be edging up.
And that's what
moving
we're
the
gonna,
leaves
and that is what
and
we're gonna
cutting
do,
the grass.
But that is what I was replying to you about. We're gonna, in order for us to move with this, we gotta clean up, there's a lot needs to be cleaned up around our front. And we're gonna do, as a team, we're gonna do that, clean that up out front. And then what you request though, we're gonna have somebody work with us.
And you're bring the contract out for that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Councilman Johnson.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, and I think it's a good thing to be done. But the young man that was doing it for many years that got laid off, Mr. John Lawson, have we reached out to him, at least try to give them the opportunity, the ones that laid off, that's been doing it for many years, or give them opportunities to try to do this? And then the young lady, I think the young lady retired. Right, and I think we at least reach out to them, at least try to give them opportunity, because, let me finish your mind. So I'm just thinking about the ones that got laid off. The whole, since November, we talked about the layoff workers, but we steady getting contracts out to other people. At least reach out to these workers that are not working, and if they don't want to work, then yes, I have no problem about looking at the other places,
Can I say this, Mr. Johnson, we've been having committee meetings, several committee meetings. And all of this, I understand where you're coming from, but this is where we've been had committee meetings of talking about getting the area cleaned up. We have asked, you're a part of the committee. You've been a part of this here, building committee. We've been meeting, and we were talking about, what we need to do to get this city clean. Not only me, every other council have seen things out here out front that needs to be done. And other council everybody had a voice. Everybody had a voice to say if they wanted to bring Miss Shirley or the other person name up before I made any effort of going out. As a chairperson,
I respect that.
no one opened their mouth. No one brought about any workers being laid off or allowed any workers the opportunity to do the job. No one brought this before. But when we go out, when we sit back, this has been months and months. I have sat back months and months and talked about what we need to do. We have met several times. No one brought this before, but now all of a sudden, let me tell you, when it comes to the worker, I go last mile for a worker. When it comes to speaking up and making sure people get what they need, I go the last mile. Because, let me finish.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Because I want people to know. I'm for every worker that got laid off. I want to see those people come back to work. I want to see those people get a raise. I want to see those people not lose everything that they lost. These people lost everything they lost. A year and a month and going on, this is the third week. Don't you think that I would never overlook the worker? I have had the opportunity, anybody that wanted to offer this. But you know what the mayor told us? He high and fire. He high and fire. And this is what the Attorney General say. If the body council people sitting up here, and if our streets need fixing, and if our city needs to be cleaned up, the elected officials that is their duty to carry this order out. And this is what I did. I worked with everybody up here. And when I brought this ain't just came to the table. This being here. So I don't want them to think that I overlook no workers. I don't do that.
Mr.
Hold
President.
on, I'm gonna let him follow it up, then I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go to Councilwoman Jackson, then we're gonna call for the vote.
And I understand exactly what she's saying. But my point I'm saying is, Mr. President, and Mrs. Councilwoman Thomas, they should have been the first person came up. I ain't had to be at the meeting. If you so concerned about the city workers, that should have came up. Let's try to get them. If nobody ain't said that in these meetings you had about the workers to try to do this first, y'all weren't concerned about them.
We brought the workers up.
Well, why y'all ain't, why?
We can't have them.
Well, that ain't the point, but I'm saying at least give them opportunity. Somebody needs to brought them up. At least give them a chance. They've been doing it for all these years.
All right, Councilwoman Jackson.
I want to say that it's easy to criticize at this point. Councilwoman Thomas has been laboring at this for months. I contacted back during the summer several landscaping companies, and as Councilwoman Benjamin stated, others that would cut grass, they didn't want to do business with the city. This contractor almost passed on the city after she got this together because of the divisiveness and the dissension in government. She had to call back and to get and beg and plead for them to even consider taking this contract back. And now at this junction, whether it should have been thought about or not, at this junction where she has gotten a contract ready to be voted on, everyone has an opinion on the matter, but no one walked with her, no one sat on the phone with her and called all those numbers that she called. I watched it. I think Councilwoman Benjamin helped her and watched her. And so at this point, we need to move forward with this contract. Now at the junction, if you look at the contract, we're only voting for the initial item, and that's for him to get the bids ready. Now, if you feel that he has stated this should be done twice a year, in the fall and the spring, and so if you feel that they should come back and do this in the spring, get with Councilwoman Thomas. Give her the numbers. Let her get prepared. Make sure they have license. Make sure they have a business license. Make sure they have their insurance. Make sure everything is prepared for for the spring. But at this point, when she's done all this work, and we're not sure if they even have any of those things in place, we should move forward. That, it has been too labor intensive on her behalf for us now at this junction to say no.
Mr. President, I'd like to respond to her, if you don't mind. I totally understand what you're saying, but I'm still saying, nobody, matter of fact, you even called me, Councilwoman Jackson, about doing both sides of Broad Street, and I brought John Lawson's name up to you then, that we should get him a chance. And where it went, I don't know where it went, but like I said again, I truly believe we at least should give them guys a call and talk with them, give them the opportunity to at least hear what they got to say, give them opportunity to get their license, rest on getting their license, rest of the grass cutter getting their license and everything else that we don't have all year long. So why not? John Lawson he's passionate, him and Shirley, doing this here. We at least should give them opportunity. You know, and that's what I'm at with that. So, but again,
Councilwoman Benson, then comment for the vote.
Yes.
Okay, my eyes are bad today, but not my memory. It was during the meeting and not in the committee meeting. The directive and the instruction and the request was given to Councilwoman Thomas inside the meeting to go and get some quotes and bring it back to this council, to this full body, the request, before this full body and the citizens, the request was made to her to go get the quote and bring it back. So it wasn't in a committee meeting, as you all might perceive. It was before the body, the full body, that we requested of her to go do the work, the legwork of this, after we had met within the committee meetings. In an open meeting, we requested of her to go do this. So, okay, Councilwoman, I'm ready to vote on that part, and if you could consider Mr. Lawson for the spring. Would you do that? Would you also go get a quote for that? For the spring?
If there's anything to help keeping this city cleaned up and do, I'm for it.
Okay.
And whatever y'all wanna do, they can get their, let them know.
Do we have a motion?
Did you make a motion?
Councilwoman
Yeah.
Jackson
Made the motion, I think Carl seconded.
Carl, the Councilman Bowe, second?
Yes.
No further discussion, roll call.
President Bowie?
Yes.
Councilman Bowling?
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngblood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph? Councilman LaShaw?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
I'm staying with all that, of course.
Okay, all right, next we have Jerry Woods Construction, $11,300 and $4,750.
I will explain to this. Since 2018, you know, on 10th Avenue, I came in here as to do what an elected official is supposed to do. I have waited for a year, be 2 years now. The potholes have got so big over there, you know. Every dime I get, I put it in my ward. I have approximately, when you go off of 10th Avenue, go down, you'll see for yourself right over there. It's embarrassed. I have approximately 16 potholes. It hurts me to see these people driving through ducking. My car, ducking. And it's embarrassed. It's embarrassed to me that I have been fighting. When I say fighting, I mean asking for funds and being cut down. So let me tell you about God. God put it for me to make sure that I get this. I want to thank some people. This is what leadership all about. Some people on this panel have never turned me down when it comes to moving forward, doing something in our ward. That man sitting there, President Bowie, I've been here 3 years in every project with no money. I came in with no money. I came in as a new elected official with no money. That man right there stuck by me. That man right there helped me fix potholes. He helped me do everything I need to do in my ward. When I went to him, people were calling me, raising hell, saying, when you gonna fix these problems? When you gonna do this? I said, I told y'all, every time I get some money, I spread it all over the whole entire ward. I called President Bowie. I said, President Bowie, I ain't got but a little money. I said, I need your help. I was gonna ask Councilman Benjamin. I asked Carl Bowling. I asked. I ain't too proud to ask you for it. If I ain't got it, I'm gonna ask these council that got stuff to help me. This man has never turned me down. He said, Councilwoman Thomas, I'm gonna help you. He rode over there, he seen it. He said, if I had more, I'd help you more, with more. I said, I'm gonna fix these holes. It cost me $11,000. I begged this man. I know it cost more than that, cause these holes big. And he said, I'm gonna help you, Jane. He said, Jerry Woods, he said, you always fighting, trying to help your ward, trying to do something, because these people come out their doors and they thank you for what you do. If it ain't but a little, they thank you, they appreciate you. So this is why I had to do that, and then I had to come back down the street, 2nd and 3rd Avenue, that's my ward. When you turn off the street and a pothole this big enough is a circle for you to drop your car in, you got to dodge. That's my duty, to find the money. And every time I find something, I want people to know gas tax. Gas tax is for infrastructure, to fix your streets. That's what that money come there for. It ain't for us to decide and argue and fuss over. It's for us to fix what we need to fix in our wards. And that is exactly what I do. And that's why I bring before this council, and I let people know I get beat down sometimes, but you know I'm strong, because I'm a fighter. I know how to fight for what I want. And that's what I fight for, Ward 7, fix those potholes. And I appreciate every council that understand me and know what I do, because I live over there. I live in it. And I don't have, whatever I have, I pour it into my ward. I don't care, I'm pouring into Ward 7. And that's why I wanted to vote to fix these here. So I can't fix them all, but when I get some more money in April, I'm gonna go back out there and fix some more. So thank you.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Thomas. Do we have a second? Second, Councilwoman Youngblood. Any further discussion? Roll call.
President Bowie?
Yes.
Councilman Bowe?
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngblood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jackson?
Councilwoman, thank you for your hard work, but you know I abstain from any of those contracts.
Councilwoman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph? Councilman LaShaw?
I'm gonna say yes, but you know, Mr. President, we had agreed to divide the gasoline tax. And we're waiting for Ms. Wade to tell us what amount that each council people will have, so my vote is, I'm looking for the amount that's been divided.
Thank you.
You have it.
Councilwoman Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yeah, I wasn't here at the work session, I have to abstain from that.
Okay. Councilwoman.
And I want to let y'all know that come from my oil lease. That's oil lease money, and the other money I asked for will come from out of the gas tax. That's my oil lease, $11,000, and $300 is my oil lease money with the help of President Bowie to save people cars, because everybody car that falls in a hole in the city of Selma don't get repaired. They file insurance and they get rejected. So this is why I have to do what I have to do, whatever I got, and I don't mind asking any council person to help me to do what I'm supposed to do as a leader.
We'll follow that up, Councilman Short, follow up, asking you the basis of what, Ms. Wade, you can get that information for us. Next, we have, Coastal Outdoors, 4,500 and 4,000. That 4,500 was that Water Avenue Street, sidewalk that I mentioned to you about 2 weeks ago. It caved in, we had some tourists, and I was passing by at $4,500. And that 4,000 was for grass cutting. We cut a lot of them in Ward 7, a lot of them in Ward 5, and some in Ward 6, and some in Ward 8. So at this time, I put a motion on the floor that we move forward with both contracts. Do we have a second? Second. Okay, roll call.
President Bowie?
Yes.
Councilman Bowe?
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngblood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jackson?
As previously stated, I don't follow contracts I haven't read, but thank you for your service.
Councilwoman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph? Councilman LaShaw?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Again, this was during work session, I didn't get the chance to talk, look at it as well, so I have to abstain.
Okay. Next, we have Mr. Robert Phillips, $550. This is in Ward 6, to pick up garbage around Ward 6. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion that we move forward with this contract. Do we have a motion on the floor, Councilman Short? Well, motion by Councilman Short.
Second.
Second, Councilman Bowen. Any further stay with questions. Roll call.
President Bowie?
Yes.
Councilman Bowles?
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngblood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jackson?
Same, another contract that hasn't been read or reviewed.
Councilwoman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph? Councilman LaShaw?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
I got just that.
All right, last but not least, we have Mr. Frank Millington, $500, and also $175. That $175 was, I think it was a month and a half ago. He removed some animals from the animal shelter, but the contract been playing tennis back and forth. But we do finally have the contract, and I'm asking the council to would move forward with both contracts. Do I have a motion on the floor? Go ahead.
Latest, $500 is to clean Midland Road up, which runs parallel with Old Over Road. It has been a mess since I got in here. It's a road that's neglected. It's received dumping. That's why I bought the 6 game cameras I haven't seen since the day I put them on the counter downstairs. Still don't know where they are. They were supposed to be used to catch the dumpers that were dumping this. So good folks over there on Midland and Christie Lane and the rest that have to travel that corridor, we're going to at least start trying to get you cleaned out now. Hopefully y'all can help us keep it clean, but I greatly appreciate y'all's support on getting this contract passed and get Mr. Frank out there to clean that mess up.
That's why the inventory clerk is so
I
important.
was just gonna bring that up.
How would you like?
By the way, I
That's a
saw
good thing.
10 and I can account for 3
Yeah.
because I had, and I don't know where 7 are. I'm missing 7.
6 brand new cameras dropped off, never saw
7 brand new cameras.
I guess they moonwalk out of here.
Well, they don't know how to set them up, so they just go in a box somewhere and we forget about it.
Do we have a motion on the
No,
floor?
they do know where to set
Yeah,
them
do we have a
I think that's
motion on the
what they
floor?
could do.
Council-
Yeah, I have a motion on the floor, yes, sir.
Do we have a second? All right, roll call.
President Bowie?
Yes.
Councilman Bowles?
Yes.
Councilwoman Youngblood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jackson?
Same reasons as before, I'm saying.
Councilwoman Benjamin?
Yes.
Councilman Randolph? Councilman LaShaw?
Yes.
Councilwoman Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
I have just that.
All right, now to committee reports.
Mr. President, before you go there, I understand from Councilman Short, the inventory clerk has begun the work. Who is the clerk inventory?
All right.
Not the clerk, the company.
Oh, the company
Yeah.
itself is here on the board?
They're here to fix our assets so that we will know what our assets are.
Gotcha.
And then annually, Ms. Wade, you correct me if I'm giving some misguided information, then annually for 4,000, they will come down and do our inventory.
Okay.
And report to us whether we had last year, it's still here. And
Shrinkage.
if it's still here, it's all well and good, and if it's not, they're gonna be held to pay.
Can you bring it before the council? We can meet them?
Yeah, I'll try to see if I can get those that are here to come Tuesday, see if they can come before council Tuesday. And I'll get the details with that additional 4,000. I'm not quite sure if it's them coming back or just maintaining inventory, but the clerk and I will assist will be responsible for updating them when we purchase new equipment and, things of that nature that comes in that needs to be inventoried. So we have to play a willing participant in maintaining as well.
This also means that we will need the cooperation of all departments, Mr. President. I don't know if you need to write a memo, that
No.
we need the cooperation. We need invoices that have come through with heavy equipment. We need those invoices, what the equipment was, where it is now. Like, let's just say I dropped off 6 cameras. I would like to know where they are now, and all those. So we need all departments cooperating with this company, including if your staff can do that, pull the invoices, because it doesn't mean, since I'm cooperating, doesn't mean I'm gonna tell you everything that was ordered in my department. And we need to know by invoice what was ordered in those departments.
All right, thank you. All right, now to the standing committees report and also closing remarks. Recreation, Councilman Johnson.
I don't really have a report, Mr. President. I just want to say thanks to Ms. Wade and Terry Jackson. I think we about got that contract, and you, Mr. President, as well. The contract with umpire. Hope it's about to be finalized for the umpire to get paid for the work they've done this summer. But also, I wanted to give with Ms. Wade. I think we need to ratify the contract, and instead of keep coming back to do a contract for that, we need to try at least say, as long as it don't exceed $10,000. And if we can do that, Mr. President, because it don't make sense to be contracts and contracts and contracts, and these guys got to wait
Have you talked to the attorney about it?
No, not yet, that's,
Okay.
we're gonna try to have it ready for the next
Next-
council meeting.
next council meeting.
Right, yes, sir, and that way we can try to, redo the contract again, and that way we can, as long as they don't exceed over $10,000, that we can go ahead and move forward without have to keep coming with contracts. These guys have done the work, but they haven't got paid yet. Also, I had a word, that I understand that the mayor in the process is gonna hire some more, young men, maybe young ladies as well at the recreation department. If we, I think like 7 guys, a mixture between ladies and men, I'm not sure. But I'm hoping and praying that is true, that we can start getting these fields and start getting everything back going. If I'm hearing this in my sleep, or if anybody else hearing this about the workers supposed to be coming back to work?
Well, I do concur. I've heard about it, but I want to admonish you, if the laid off workers do not have the first opportunity
Right,
at
right.
that job, we setting us up, setting ourselves
right,
up for a
right.
lawsuit, and also in the condition that a letter was never written to the laid off employees, whether it was terminated. If it was terminated, you have to specify why it was terminated, and if it was terminated for funding, the funding is here now, so they should have the first right
Right, and
to apply for the job.
I totally agree, but my question, I just want to make sure that's,
That's what I heard too.
yeah, I'm hoping, praying that's the case, that we do get the workers back. And I would prefer the workers that have been laid off come back, but for the experience that they have, because we don't need nobody coming in and don't know what to do. You know, so I hope and pray that these guys will really come back. And that's pretty much, all I can say is it's been a rock and roll year for us in Ward 8. We're getting a lot done, but we're not getting much of nothing done. I have to thank Ms. Walter McGee and her crew for what they've been doing in Ward 8. All the volunteers have been coming out doing some stuff. We just got around the Miller, and Miller Funeral Home just did, right there by the railroad track in St. Anne. That was a man cave hole there. And they just got, and I told them to get them rocks right down there, the railroad, and they got their backhoe and fill them in, it's packed them out real good for them. So, you know, everybody pitching in trying to do the way they can, and I'm so grateful for that, but there's a lot more need to be done. I'm so glad the winter time is coming in, now the grass don't settle down a little bit now, so, but all I can say is just, we can't go no lower, all we can do is just come up. And like I said, good night.
Good night, thank you.
I
Councilwoman
have a
Bennett.
question concerning the Recreation Department report. I was glad to hear you say the last statement that you said that you would like the old workers to come back, because you had just made a phenomenal speech about Mr. Lawson and the grass cutting. I'm glad you said that, and so I hope that we have Ms. Ellison as our assistant, a contracting assistant. I'm sure she would leave us to go back to her benefits, go back to her job. So I hope that she's on that list to be called back. I'm sure she would ditch us in a minute to leave a contract job. Yeah, she's nodding yes, she would ditch us. I don't blame you, I would too. So I hope she's on the list to be called back. Phenomenal worker, experienced, degreed, all that. So I hope that she would be she's on that list to be called back. I just heard it through the grapevine. I don't know if it's true or not true. Have not heard it from the mayor. We don't have a mayor's report tonight. We don't have anyone from the mayor's office to report that tonight. So I hope that a year ago I said that we should be doing an all call to ask the laid off workers how many of them would like to come back to their job. It was just easy as pie to do an all call to bring them in and say, because some of them have jobs already. So hopefully this thing is being done correctly. If not, we can prepare ourselves for more lawsuits.
Is there any way possible that Ms. Ellis, while she up here, can go through the names of the ones that have been laid off and see the ones that have new jobs, the ones that retire? Is there any way possible that she can?
No, that thing's in the operation.
Well, no, I'm just saying is, well, I'm just saying somebody can do it. Somebody can do it, you know, so, but we need somebody to do that. I mean, at least we. No. What I'm saying is, what I'm interested in trying to find out is how many don't got new jobs.
Me too.
And how many don't retire.
That's right.
That's all I want to know, you know.
The wise thing is to find out who's available and who's not.
That's right.
And that's not required to, that would not prohibit none of us from doing that, because we got an assistant in our office, give her a task of identifying who's available and who's not.
Let's let our HR department.
Yeah. That's not her job.
All right, let's go, community development, Councilwoman Youngblood.
I've already given my report, but I would like to pair up what, Councilman Johnson and Councilwoman Benjamin said. I don't think the Department of Labor would cotton to our hiring, new people when we had laid off folks.
Thank you. Administrator, Councilman, closing remarks?
No report, no remarks, just another ride down the city council freeway. Here we go, folks. Thanks for joining us, right on. Love y'all.
No public safety committee, we had a meet and greet. I'm gonna turn it over to Councilwoman President Pro Tem Benjamin. I wasn't able to be there today because of work, but on next week, we will be voting, our three finalists, for our police chief. But if you can give us an update of what took place.
Sure. The meet and greet went very, very well. The top three candidates made presentations to the public very formally, and then we informally had a chat and chew where citizens were able to mingle with council members, mingle with several police officers, to mingle with the candidates themselves and ask questions one-on-one, personally, to the side. They presented themselves very, very well. I think we'll do well with either of them. Y'all know who my pick is or whatever. So I just want to insert that. But it went very, very well. I like this setting, Mr. President, better than previous settings where we brought in the public. They could sit and then they could informally mingle with the candidates. Several of them talked to council members to say to us face to face, I would like this person, or I would like this person. I don't like this person because I didn't like this particular answer or whatever. They had access to us, they had access to the candidates, and they had access to the Selma Police Department. Even Chief King was there. They had access to the chief. And so I like this setting better than previous settings, so thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Public Works and General Service, Councilman Shore.
No report, Mr. President. However, I do want to encourage the citizens to be vigilant. Look out, watch out for one another, knowing that this is the time of the year where, for whatever the reason, crime is intensified. And we just got to be careful, watch out for our neighbors. That's true. I wish my colleague, Mr. Randolph, was here to hear this tomorrow.
Say it anyway, here.
When you see somebody
Little saying with
walking
TV?
down the street at 3:30 in the morning, they got a 36-inch TV on their shoulder. Little Sam has broken into somebody's house. So pick up the phone and call them.
You'd probably be loaded into a FedEx truck. Children and Family, Councilwoman Jackson.
No children and family report, just a couple of things. The asthma contract that we put on first read, I've emailed it to everyone. If you review it, have any questions, let me know. We can get it back to the to our city attorney prior to next week's meeting, and we can make sure that that goes forward. I can tell you that they're writing a FEMA grant. They're already in the process before they get our contract, because they have our minutes where we've allocated the funds, and they're looking at a FEMA contract for our ladder truck. And so it's due by the end of the year, and they're trying to get that in for us and on our behalf. Also, thank you to Councilwoman Youngblood and to our city treasurer, who Councilwoman Youngblood directed me to who I need to speak with. And our treasurer got me that information today. They're looking at a grant for our track. So some of the things that we're trying to spend our scarce dollars for, we may actually can get a grant for. So they're looking in those areas. And if you have any other needs or areas that you know of, just let me know. I'll pass it on, and they'll decide at that point. All I do is pass it on, or you need their information, I don't mind sharing that as well. I don't have to be the contact.
At the tennis court, Councilwoman, I've been asking for a while. The tennis court
Do these grants have matching
at
funds?
Sea Park.
At Disney.
Do they have matching funds?
They haven't made me aware yet. After they write the grant, it's gonna have to come in before the council for approval. That she's made me aware of what she's working on, and I've gotten her in touch with the right person to get quotes submitted. Or I've gotten those quotes submitted and turned them in. She just say, I need this information because we're working on this. So I hadn't gotten into asking those questions as of yet, just thanked her. Because she had a conference call with the, you couldn't make it on the conference call, but Councilwoman Youngblood had a conference call and made her aware of some of our needs and some of the things that were actually being asked for in the budget. And the other item is, Mr. President, I want to know, are we having a work session next week or we just doing council?
Work session.
Monday, the 16th. Is it the same 16th as her end of the year?
Yeah, so I thought we moved it.
Okay, yeah, we did, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought we had 2 meetings this month, period. Yes. Yeah, we did move just one, we got one meeting next week, right,
okay,
Mr. President?
So we just having
Yeah, okay.
council meeting next week.
So we
Okay.
won't have a work session Monday?
May need to have it. I'm gonna find you for talking. Might wanna do it Thursday, cause I know there's some stuff that we need to go with Thursday bill.
This Thursday?
Right, this Thursday, remember, everybody's invited to
Oh.
Love Selma, you got your tickets, please come out at 6 o'clock.
Oh, what is it?
$5.
Yeah, that's right. Let me-
Yeah, those are New York Times bestsellers,
Sit down.
writer for everybody always, yes, Tuesday.
Why can't we stick with the Monday work session?
Yeah, but see, I've heard, up there.
Yeah, I had consulted with
Yes,
him
she did,
before I
she
set
did.
the, before I
She
set
did.
the date.
She did.
I consulted with
She
Mr.
did.
President
She did.
to ask how many December meetings we were gonna have. And then when he gave me the December meetings,
That's what
I
she-
set the date,
Well, let's have a work
after
session at 4 o'clock Tuesday.
before council meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, that
That's
works.
good.
That works.
Oh, I can't take it. Okay, that's
I
fine.
can hold it down till you get
Yeah,
here.
that's fine. That's fine, 4 o'clock. All right.
Okay,
Good
and that's all I got to say. Thank you guys for allowing me to serve with you all. And I think you want me to mention that Santa will be at
Minnesota College,
Minnesota Cottage on Sunday at,
4.
from 2 to 4 p.m. Please
Well
come out and
said.
join Santa.
All right, thank you.
Mr. President, can I just want to say something?
Go ahead, go ahead.
important? I will be meeting with a gentleman from Georgia, just estimate on the tracks and the tennis court.
Okay.
So just an estimate. So me and Terry Jackson will be meeting just estimate, which will begin 3. So it's just an estimate, so if we can get grants, great, but meanwhile, we will be just meeting it Thursday.
Actually, if you would pass that information on, because what I used was past information, so, and they were gonna add a percentage in there to increase it, to write it for the grant. So if you could pass those on, we can put that in the grant. If they're not funded, we hadn't lost anything. If they are, we just gained.
Thursday, I think 12.
So bring your amount to the grant.
If you just, give me the dollar amount.
Well, we're talking about Selma, we're talking about Cedar Park.
The whole city.
Yeah, all the schools, and they just estimates that they're giving. I'm not saying that we're gonna be able to fund, but we can get granted also.
Public Buildings and Committee. Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes. I just want to say, we are continuing to work on the traffic lights. The lights are our next #1 issue for the city of Selma. We all know that we have been working on it for the past months. We have met with, I talked to a gentleman out of Birmingham. We're trying to get a map, but we haven't got the map yet. But we will be, I will be contacting him again this week to see what other options we could go with, getting the traffic lights fixed. So we're working on that. But everything else, when we get our landscape done in our city, and we got a lot of our buildings, and we need to go into some of our public buildings to see some other things. I know work that needs to be done that we need to focus on getting it back. But I'm still waiting on the contract from Woody, dealing with the renting the property. We agreed to go back to the old contract. Accordingly, he has not done it. So I'm waiting to hear from him to see why he hasn't went back, finish up the old contract. with the old contract for us to continue to rent our building.
Okay. Closing remarks?
I just want to say, everybody have a happy holiday coming up. And I will continue to, serve the citizen of Selma and do what I need to do for Ward 7. So have a Merry Christmas.
Council?
If you need, do you need us to give you a map with our lights on it each ward, would that be helpful?
If you could give me one with, the location, you just need to go in where the lights at,
Right.
out, the traffic lights out, to replace those, boxes.
Okay.
If
So
you
we
can,
go
it
back,
would help me.
Get something to you. that
Yes,
helps you
if,
sit
if,
down.
if every council person could give me the location where the area in where their lights out,
Okay.
that would help him a whole lot.
So a list of lights and then lights out, what about superfluous lights? I have lights that are on Dallas Avenue and one that's on Old Road for the hospital that was located there that really we don't need much anymore, that can be repurposed. So would you like me to delineate that as well on the map?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thank you. Councilwoman Benjamin, educational report and closing remarks.
Thank you, Mr. President. 3 of us were able to attend the Education Institute in San Antonio, Texas. In one of the meetings that I was in, there was a call for Small Cities USA. And not that I was the only small city in there, I was the small city that spoke up. And so we will be having conference calls in the interim before Washington D.C. to see if the data that we have on Selma can be included in Small Cities USA grants. Very similar to what Councilwoman Younggood was talking about earlier today. So hopefully all of that works together. All of that will work together. I also had an opportunity to sit in on a list of priorities that were sent into Washington, D.C. to be lobbied for all cities and not just small cities. The last time we lobbied, it was concerning several things. One of the things that was announced by our Congresswoman was the Voting Rights Act. And something very, very important happened concerning that. And this is where, right, Adam? This is where our business is taken care of. And we do appreciate our Congresswoman for working on that. But we worked on that in the Institute, in the Education Institute. We sat and we worked and we hashed things out. That's just one of the things that was worked on concerning there. We had the opportunity to also sit in with some very important people, Councilman LaShore, Councilman Randolph, and I. And some of you may call it lollygagging, I call it networking. The networking is very important. Collaboration is very important. People who are giving money now, they want to see you collaborate. They want to see you collaborate with cities around you, the small cities around you, Uniontown, Orville. They want to see collaboration. They don't want to put their money in one little place anymore. They want to know from us, how are you all working together on this plan, all of you all who are connected, who are contiguous? What is it that you all are doing together? So that is one of the things moving forward that we should be talking about and putting on the table is how are we going to connect ourselves with Valley Grande, Orville, Uniontown, and get this. They want to give money, they want to give big money, and they're going to give it to a collaboration. They said it. They've already said it. And so that's one of the things we need to talk about at the table. In closing, I want to just remind everybody this is the season, as Councilwoman Thomas has said, that our hearts grow bigger. And so let's make sure that we give. Let's make sure that we remember. The blanket initiative is still on, Mr. President. You're going to talk about that probably. The blanket initiative is still on to give warm blankets. Please remember a care package for the nurses that work on Christmas Day. They don't get to go home to their families. Some people have to work around the clock, like police officers. I know that Councilman Randolph got me in, when I was first elected, he got me into delivering pizzas to the fire department, like, hey, let's go deliver some pizzas. And so I've gotten into that now. Then we have to remember our service people don't get to take a week off during the holidays. And so let's remember those things that may seem small to others, but big to those who are working on the holidays. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion.
So moved, Mr. President.
Also, too, I need the links. I forgot. I need the links.
Right here, right here.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did I get the same contract?
No.
Shaving the hair.
I mean, yeah, you guys.
Shaving the hair.